Some time ago, I came to you and told you that my number one priority in this season for our church is to stabilize Central as it relates to our facilities. We had three goals in mind as a part of that process. Number one, we wanted facilities that were mechanically sound, that represents the standard of excellence that we want to offer to God and also to our members. Number two, we wanted buildings that had the space and the size that would permit us to stay in these properties long term. And then number three, we want locations in communities that allow us to reach the people that we have been called to serve. Well, I am here to tell you that that process has been completed. And I am here to announce that God has opened two amazing doors that check all three of those boxes. One of them you already know about, so let's start with that. I am here to announce that we have sealed the deal on our new North Campus. It is right around the corner from our current North Campus, which allows us to stay in the community that we have been in since 2017, but giving us a beautiful location right off of the freeway. This building will allow us to do the following. Number one, to have a beautiful 500 plus seat sanctuary. That building will be modernized while still keeping its character and its charm. We also have a double-sided parking lot and ample street parking to make sure that all worshipers have somewhere to park. We also have two spaces in the building that we will be retrofitting to be used for our Kids Central Ministry. We've got a fellowship hall with the kitchen together that we can use for those amazing church events that you remember so well. We've also got a space for our administrative staff to work and to be available to our members throughout the week. And finally, we've got several multi-purpose spaces that we can use for classes, rehearsals, and other church events. And the best thing about it is that when this entire process is complete, this will be a debt-free acquisition. Now, for the second part of this, you all remember that in 2024, June to be exact, we opened our West Campus in Dearborn, Michigan. The goal for that campus was for it to become a regional campus for the western part of the Metro Detroit area. We prayed over a list of cities that God would send souls from to populate that campus. Well, 1 year into that campus, we conducted a membership survey. And I want to tell you all of the cities that we currently have worshipers and members attending that campus from. We've got members from Redford, Inkster, Dearborn, Allen Park, Lincoln Park, Taylor, Dearborn Heights, Romulus, Ecorse, River Rouge, Westland, Garden City, Southgate, Southwest Detroit, Belleville, Flat Rock, and Canton, Michigan. This campus, based upon the surveys that we received, has about 250 people that call the West Campus home. Can you believe it? In just that 1 year, we've got 250 people that connected to our church, at least according to the information that we got in them 4 weeks of surveys. We dug into that information from those surveys, and we discovered that the overwhelming majority of those people were coming from one of those cities, and that city was Redford, Michigan. This led us to do some deeper research into the area, and there were three primary findings that came from the research. Number one, according to an article listed in the Detroit Free Press in May of 2021, the city of Redford, Michigan was beginning to become a go-to spot for people from the city of Detroit that were looking for affordable housing, specifically young families. Many of them that had went to college, came back to start families, and they made Redford, Michigan their home. Listen to this. Over the last decade, the city's population of African Americans have increased by 67%. Based on the U.S. Census data, there are 25,000 African Americans that live in the city of Redford. That is over 50% of the city's population. Now listen, That doesn't mean that we're only targeting African Americans for this church. However, we do have to be honest about who is likely to come to our church. But here's what I want you to know. A city that has more than 50% of an African American population deserves to have a church within that community that represents the priorities and the values of our community. And also, when we looked at this in a map, the city of Redford was almost dead smack at the center of the Tri-County area. And we believe that Central has a bright future in the Redford area. There is so much community and kingdom work that we can do. And just as we were coming into the discovery of that, God opened an effectual and fervent door for our church in Redford, Michigan. So I am here to announce that God has blessed us to acquire an amazing property in Redford that will become a new home for our church. Let's check it out. This would mean that our West Campus is going to be moving from Dearborn to Redford sometime this fall. Now, I know that this is a little unexpected, but please know that we would never make such a disruptive decision unless we thought that it would work out for the betterment of our church. So let me give you the 5 main reasons why we believe that this is a good move for our church. Number 1, the entire property, with the exception of a small basement, is fully handicap accessible. You can literally get out your car, walk in one door, walk all the way through the sanctuary, down the hallway with all the classrooms to the other side of the building and out of the door without coming in contact with any stairs. Number 2, the spaces that we still need to complete in our current West Campus, like our classrooms and our offices and our team space, are already completed in this property, literally saving us hundreds of thousands of dollars. Number 3, this property is projected to have a lower monthly expenses than our current West Campus. Number 4, the property has a higher seating capacity and more space, which allows us to make this the permanent long-term home for our West Campus. And last but not least, this building literally had a school operating in it in the 23-24 semester, which gives us the opportunity to potentially open our own school or to offer the property to an existing school or daycare and to turn the property into an income generating property when we are not here. And as a bonus, this property is closer to our other campuses, which allows it to be used more frequently for more church-wide events. Now, when all of these campuses are acquired and open, I want you to know that we will literally have all of our needs met in 3 amazing properties. In our South Campus, we've got a full court gymnasium for our Ministry of Athletics. We got a 500-seat sanctuary in our North Campus and our West Campus, and a 700-seat sanctuary in our South Campus. That's more than enough capacity for us to continue to grow without having to up and move anytime soon. We've also got a classic fellowship hall and kitchen combination, which allows us to have those church luncheons and repast dinners and church anniversary events and all of those other church events that we love to have. We also have a community outreach center at our South Campus that we are serving every week that can be the home of the hub of Central's outreach. Listen to this. We will have up to 10 exclusive classrooms for our small groups and our other discipleship efforts, and we will no longer have to share spaces with the kids ministry and flip the rooms back and forth between the Sundays and our small groups. We will have a full teen space that is ready right now, that will have a worship area, a fun game room, a lounge and hangout room, locker rooms. They'll have their own restrooms, and all we've got to do is put our branding on the wall and put the furniture down. Also, we will have outdoor spaces at every campus that we can use for church picnics, family fun events. And guess what? At our new West Campus, there's an outdoor stage that provides an open air amphitheater feel for us to have outdoor concerts and talent shows, and the sky is the limit. We'll have our baptism pool at our South Campus. All of our baptisms will be done there. All of our campuses, when this is completed, will have proper heating, proper cooling, proper roofing, proper restrooms, and all of the other mechanical things will be sound. And finally, all campuses will have appropriate kid space, ample parking, and these buildings we will settle in and call them home. All being done at a price of about 15 to 20% of what it would have cost us to build a church with all of these items in it, or to buy a property and renovate it that would be big enough to house all of these things. So here's what I know. Someone says, Pastor, what do you need us to do? The first and most important thing that I need every member of this church to do is to remain optimistic about these moves. I know that this is new, this is fresh, but listen to this. Nothing that we have done has been done without much prayer, strategizing, weighing pros and cons, seeking wise counsel, and also calculating the potential risks. Secondly, I need you to pray. And to be honest with you, you can take your prayer straight from the prayer of Jesus when he said these words, "Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." Thirdly, I need you to step up and serve. In order for this church to fulfill its mission, we need to double our ministry team within the next 12 months. And so we're going to be providing opportunities for those who have been signing up for ministry to come to a special event where you can get onboarded onto the ministries that you have signed up for. And then finally, we need you to give. When I started this Nexus New Journey in 2022, and we got on that journey together, listen to this, I told you this would be a season of unrelenting sacrifice. I care deeply about the financial well-being of every member of this church, but I will not apologize for asking kingdom people to invest in the advancement of the kingdom that we say we are a part of. Let me remind you that in the scriptures, there was a woman who came to the temple while Jesus was sitting by the offering plate, and she gave all that she had. The scripture says that the first offering that was ever collected in the church, they sold all of their possessions and brought everything they had and gave it to the apostles for them to use and distribute as they saw fit. Let me remind you that the apostle Paul said that the Macedonians gave towards the vision even while they were in poverty. And we already know that in the book of Corinthians, Paul challenged the wealthy Corinthians to use their wealth for the advancement of the kingdom. And let me remind you of the words of Jesus, where your treasure is, that is where your heart will be also. So I need you to do the following things. Number one, continue to pay your regular tithes and offerings. If you can't do anything else, just do that and it'll be enough. Secondly, I need you to get on the 7x7x7 train. This only works if every member of the church either gives $7, $14, or $21 every single week. This is especially critical over the next 9 weeks. I even want to encourage some of you, if you can, bump up to the next level of what you have been doing, because it's going to make a difference on this journey. Number 3, I need you to mark your calendars for Sunday, September the 7th. That's a little over a month away. It's our Vision Surge for the fall, and I'm asking you to give a $75 offering towards this project. Listen to what you're going to do. Just take the month of August. Put a little bit of money up every week until you can get to that $75 and bring that offering to the house of the Lord on Sunday, September the 7th. And then finally, for those of you that are financially blessed above measure, you know exactly who you are. I'm going to ask you and encourage you that during the next couple of months, consider giving a special offering towards this project under the vision part of your offering envelope. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You know what your finances are. And I want you to pray about whether God is calling you to use your resources to do something great for the kingdom of God. The last thing I want to tell you is that nothing is changing right now. Listen, all of our services will stay exactly the way they are. 8 o'clock at our North Campus on 7 Mile, 9:45 at our West Campus in Dearborn, 11:30 at our South Campus on Sorrento, and 1:15 back on 7 Mile. I will let you know when the changes will take effect. So no one needs to change anything right now. Let me close with this. I have pastored this church for 12 years. And respectfully, I say to you, I have never led this church astray. And so I'm telling you that I have earned the right to lead this church in this unprecedented season of growth. And so I ask you to follow me as I follow Christ. Thank you for your time and your attention. And I say to you once more and again, next is new, and next is happening right now.